Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to dive into a book that could totally change how you think about money and work?
Absolutely. This one's a really exciting one to unpack.
We're tackling Financial Freedom by Grant Sabatier, and let me tell you, this isn't your grandma's retirement plan.
Definitely not.
This is about reaching financial freedom, like way sooner, so you can actually live life on your terms.
Living a life you don't want to retire from. That's the dream.
Right, exactly. And Sabatier skis some, well, unconventional strategies for getting there faster.
Yeah, he really shakes things up. He's all about this idea of, like, turbocharging your path to financial independence.
And one of his biggest things is this: income is king.
Yeah.
But he doesn't just mean working harder at your day job, right?
Right. It's not about just getting by. It's about creating serious wealth, and quickly. To do that, you need to increase your income.
He's all about building multiple income streams, so it's not just relying on that one paycheck.
Exactly. And it makes a huge difference, especially when you factor in this thing called compounding. Like, even a small side hustle can snowball over time.
It's like magic, but with money.
Kind of.
Sabatier talks about this woman. She started baking and selling cakes from home as a side gig.
Oh, yeah, I remember that story.
Eventually, her cake business was so successful that she quit her 9 to 5.
See, that's what I love about this stuff. It's not just theory. These are real stories of, like, regular people, people just like you and me, figuring out how to leverage their passions and turn them into something profitable.
And that's the key, right? It's about figuring out what you're good at. What unique skills or talents do you have that you could maybe turn into a side hustle?
Yeah, maybe you're amazing at photography, or you love to write, or you're a coding whiz. Have you thought about freelancing, or creating an online course,
Yeah.
or even launching your own online business? There are tons of possibilities out there.
So many opportunities in the gig economy these days. It's kind of mind-blowing. All right, so we're finding those side hustles, we're building up our income streams, but Sabatier, he doesn't stop there, does he?
Not even close.
He throws down this challenge, and when I first read it, I got to be honest, I was like, whoa, hold on a second.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He says to try to save 50% or even more of your income, 50%.
It sounds extreme when you first hear it, right? Like, how is that even possible?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He's not saying you have to live on rice and beans and never leave your house.
Right, it's not about deprivation.
Exactly. It's about being more intentional with your spending, understanding where your money's actually going. He talks about tracking your expenses for a month, and I know nobody loves spreadsheets,
It sounds kind of painful, yeah.
but it's amazing what you learn when you actually see it all laid out, right? You,
Oh.
you might be surprised where your money's actually going.
You might find those little leaks in the budget you didn't even realize were there.
Exactly. Like, maybe you're spending a ton on takeout coffee, or those impulse buys at the grocery store really add up,
Yeah.
or that gym membership you never use. It's about identifying those areas where you can cut back without feeling like you're sacrificing the things you really enjoy.
It's all about finding that balance.
Exactly. And prioritizing what truly matters to you. So maybe you love to travel, like me, so you're willing to cut back on eating out to save up for that big trip. Or maybe experiences are more important to you than material things, so you focus on spending money on concerts or events instead of buying a bunch of stuff. It's about making conscious choices that align with your values.
And you know what else? This whole saving thing, it's not just about accumulating a big pile of money, right? There's this psychological shift that happens when you start prioritizing saving.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like you're training your brain to think long term, to delay gratification. And that can have ripple effects in other areas of your life too.
For sure. It's like you're building this muscle, this delayed gratification muscle, that helps you make smarter choices in all aspects of your life, not just with your money.
And to make this whole saving thing easier, Sabati is a huge fan of automating it, which I love because I'm all about anything that simplifies my life.
Yeah, me too. Automate everything.
Set it up so that a chunk of each paycheck goes directly into your savings account before you even have a chance to spend it.
Out of sight, out of mind. Love it.
And speaking of putting your money to work for you, let's talk about passive income, because this is where things get really interesting. Sabatier really focuses on two main ways to build passive income, and they're kind of classics, right? Low-cost index funds and real estate.
Yeah, for sure. And first, let's demystify this whole index fund thing, because I think it can sound intimidating, right?
It definitely did to me at first. Like, am I suddenly supposed to become a stock market expert?
Right. But Sabatier breaks it down really well. Index funds aren't about, like, trying to outsmart Wall Street and pick the next hot stock.
Phew, good, because I don't have time for that.
Me neither. It's more about steady, long-term growth. You're basically investing in the entire market so your risk is spread out,
Yeah.
and you're more likely to see those gains over time.
Yeah, you're riding the wave of the entire market instead of betting on one single stock to win the race.
Exactly. And it's a much more passive approach, too, because you're not constantly having to buy and sell individual stocks.
Okay, so that's index funds, which I'm starting to wrap my head around. But now let's talk real estate, because I'll be honest, that always seemed a little out of reach.
Yeah, I get that. It can feel intimidating. But Sabatier does a good job of making it feel more accessible. He talks about rental properties, for example, and how they can generate a pretty consistent stream of passive income.
Oh, okay, so like becoming a landlord.
Exactly. And it can be a great way to build long-term wealth. Of course, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, and it does require some work and research up front.
Right, there's always going to be some effort involved no matter what kind of investment you're talking about.
Totally. There's no such thing as a completely passive income stream. But the idea is that you put in the work up front, and then eventually the money starts working for you, even while you sleep.
It's all about creating those multiple streams of income, so you're not just relying on one job for your entire livelihood. Right. That seems to be a big theme with Sabatier's approach.
Oh, absolutely. Diversification is key. It's about having options and creating more financial security for yourself.
And ultimately, isn't that what financial freedom is all about? Having those options and that freedom to design a life you love.
100%. And that's what I love about Sabatier's book.
Mm.
He doesn't just focus on the numbers. He talks about the why behind it all.
Yeah, it's not just about accumulating a ton of money. It's about what that money allows you to do with your life.
Exactly. It's about having the freedom to pursue your passions, to spend time with loved ones, to travel the world, or whatever it is that brings you joy. It's about designing a life you don't need a vacation from.
And I think that's a great note to end on. So to wrap things up, we've learned about maximizing our income streams, saving strategically, and harnessing the power of passive income. These are all powerful tools for taking control of our finances and creating a life we love.
And remember, even small steps in the right direction can make a huge difference over time. So start today, even if it's just with one small change.
I love that. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into financial freedom. And hey, before you go, we want you to think about this. What would your ideal life look like if money wasn't a limiting factor? Let us know because we love to hear your thoughts. Until next time.